Hello and welcome to episode 32 of the Valley Urban Farm. In this episode we're starting off with the task that we've been putting off for a couple of episodes, and that's weeding our planted fields. We have had the time to do that, so I have purchased this spraying system. It's got a tank on the front, tank at the back, nice 24-meter spread, which is probably a bit wide for here, and maybe I should have done this field last because it's full of herbicide and is pushing me about a bit. Once again, pushing the tractor to its absolute limits. Also, I couldn't quite afford to put the spot spraying system on, so that'll have to be done at a later stage, which means we're going to lose a little bit on our environment score on this. On the season's planting, basically. So this is the second field. It was corn, and the sprayer works lovely on this sort of size field. I mean, the whole job, each field was done pretty much lickety-split. Just a pleasure to do. Once you've got your initial spatial awareness going, of course with these really wide booms, as you will notice on pretty much every field, the start is a little bit tricky. And of course, as I mentioned it a little earlier, with the full load, the system is pushing this tractor down around a little bit. It's pretty much at its limit, but once you're up and going, it's just normally when you're on a very steep hill or something along those lines. So this is the field next to the French fry factory. Yes, I'm probably also using a little bit more at least herbicide than I would, although not using a huge amount because it's not that many weeds. But yeah, we would have been using a lot less on the spot sprayer. But I'll be able to, I think for the next season we will make sure that we've got enough money so that we can get that spot sprayer onto the system. Spot spray it's pretty expensive really compared to the tractor. So, sometimes I think in this case probably almost the cost of the tractor. But yeah, you get it back over time. Depends on how many fields you've got to do, etc. But you get it back in savings on your herbicide and the bonus you get for your environmental score. So yeah, it's pretty much an investment really. Well, that's it. That's all the fields done, all the weeds done. We should see that in our environmental score in the next season. Pretty happy with that being done. As I mentioned in the last few episodes, I've been contemplating getting some dairy cows, so I've decided to do that, but I don't want an awful lot, so I found this nice little dairy barn, milking parlour, all combined. Takes 30 cows, and it's under 10,000 to put in, so suited me quite fine. Looks very nice. First little problem is I couldn't work out how to lift the fly screen, so I've been looking for switches, or I tried the normal door opening. That didn't really work. but the whole thing looks really nice. Nice little places at the edge. So here I am trying to open the fly screen. So I was just trying the normal way that you open gates and doors, and it really wasn't working. You couldn't walk through it, so it was a crash barrier, if you want to call it that. And on this side you can see that this side is rolled up, so there must be a switch somewhere. I tried this one here, but that was for the lights, so that didn't do anything. So I'm at a bit of a loss as to, at this point I was at a bit of a loss, but I realized that there must be some way of opening that up, because it's a through route really, you know. So once again, wondering if perhaps you had to open it from the inside, so pressing the B to try and open, but no going. Let's have a quick look at this side, see if there's anything around there. And then I noticed, because it's pretty much pretty light, so you can't really see it, you can see a tiny little button down there, and if you press that, it opens. So that was one little problem sorted. I kind of like the way this thing is modelled though. It's really nice, you know. You can climb up into there. I suppose you could put some bales up there and just toss them off the top into the feeding area, but of course TMR is what we want here. I haven't not sure whether I'll put straw in. It probably will, because we can use the manure, so we will put some straw in eventually. But first of all, I thought I would just go and buy in some TMR to get going. I pretty much think that we'll be buying in feed for the cattle all the time. We'll actually won't, because we've got that nice big grass field. We'll see, we may be able to make some feed for the cattle, but because they are small in number, it may just be worthwhile just to buy in feed for them. So this is such a tight fit, and this of course is the major problem that we had with this, is that because that's a tip trailer, we can't tip it out, so we're going to need to get something that's a side tipper or a push tipper that can fit through there. But I think some of those big push tippers require more horsepower from the tractors, so I'm not quite sure. At this stage it was getting dark, so I decided to put in some lights, which is something I've been wanting to do in this area for a while. So I just did putting in a bit of lighting at places where we will need it, especially for the winter working when the days are pretty short. So I just built this one right into the actual car shed. Worked out quite nicely. Right, and I'm just going to nip off down to the other farm to go and pick up a front end loader. Here we are back. I also bought a bucket, and what I did is I offloaded all the TMR just down the side here, and we're just going to feed with a bucket. And I think that's kind of the way we're going to do it, unless it's they eat so much that we have to do it too many times. Then we'll have to consider another trailer, maybe a side tipper or something. Might have to trade in the trailer that we have. Well, I don't think we will, because it's such a versatile trailer, and being able to change size and also become a flatbed trailer basically, or a bale trailer. So I really like that trailer. It's it's normally my go-to trailer to start off with when we're small in any Let's Play that I do. But of course, because it's limited to a maximum of 12,000 litres, it often gets outgrown. But yeah, so that didn't prove too much of a problem. It's a little bit time consuming, but this backer does take over 2,000 litres, so we'll just keep an eye and see how much they eat. So there's 12,000 litres in there now, and for our last little job of the day is we'll actually go and get some cows in. Should be delivered any minute now. I'll just put this last bit in. So I did buy a full herd of Holsteins, and yeah, in my opinion it's probably one of the best milkers. There's not really any discrepancy in this game, but in real life between them and Jerseys are my two favourite personal dairy cows. It's probably also because those are the two that I know the best. Haven't really done a lot of dairy, cow dairy work. My background was in milking goats. Slightly different size. In any event, that's the last ones in there, and then we'll just go and receive the cows. Should be here any minute now. Let's park this off. And the nice thing about this is that there's a nice little place down the side here to put our implements. So we'll just drop off the bucket here. Nice and easy access and such like. Right, so here's the cows. So we just get them to offload their Holsteins. We'll get them fully grown so we can get milk going straight away. Maximum number 30. It's a nice little investment, and just caught a clips of them there. We'll have a good look at them in the daylight in the next episode. Well, that's where we're going to end this episode. Thank you so much for watching, and cheerio.